And we're back for game number 2 of this best of 3 between Zero and Pulse here at the Curse Gaming $100 King of the Hill, the inaugural edition. The winner of this best of 3 will be invited back next week to play yet another team. We're going to keep on going and going and going. We're going to get lots of Dota 2 action. Usually going to be having these on Sundays like today. Next week going to be moved to Monday, but I will be back to broadcast that as well. We'll figure out who's going to be playing. But for right now, man, Pulse looked good in game number 1 in the beginning, but Zero able to flip it upside down and turn it around in the mid-game stage just as it crossed from early game to mid-game and secure themselves a win. They're one game away from sweeping and earning themselves a quick $100. Pulse, though, going to have other things in mind. Going to have to win 2 in a row to force a game 3. If you're just tuning in, I'm Ayesee, and that's Epi casting with me. And the picks coming out. But yeah, game 1 was a lot of fun, man. But really, again, I feel like Pulse just did not get the mileage they needed out of their lineup.
Yeah, Paul's also a great team that play when they're under pressure. So I think we're going to have a really tough game this time around. But it's still really impressive if we look back at the lineup that Zero ran with last game. They had a jungling Magnus who didn't skill his nuke. He just went for the skewer and the empower.
Yep.
And they were just kind of assumed they were like, let's just freaking wait this thing out until the laning phase ends, and then we'll just keep on brawling. Because we will get the longer end of the stick anyway, as long as we get Leaf farming a bit. So, I mean, Waga and Mini probably, or all the Pulse guys probably discussed really briefly about what went wrong there. And I think one thing that might have been touched upon is the fact that Pudge should be played as a roamer. I'm serious. I think you should just move around the map and kind of spread some terror. If you just hang around the middle lane, then you're really missing out on a lot of the potential from Pudge. And
yep.
Yeah, they weren't able to keep down Sven, and he was the one that won the game later on.
Yeah, it wasn't just about the fact that he wasn't covering a lot of ground on the map. If you want to hang in mid with Pudge, fine, that's okay. But you're going to have to apply pressure. Like, if you're going to be in mid, you can't spend all of your time under your own tier 1 farming on your side of the river. You need to start moving around, especially with the bounty hunter on team. Start poking around to the other side, looking for hooks from the high ground, looking to land a hook from the low side of the river over near the ward spot near the Ancients. A lot of good positions there. We just didn't see it. And again, I know Walk is good at it because I saw him do it in the previous broadcast I had with D2L. He played Pudge in that game as well, and it was amazing. Just came up a bit short. Had a few good hooks, but not quite enough to put them over the hump. And a very well played game out of Zero. And again, Leaf able to just free farm all game. That's what's going to happen with any carry, let alone a hero like Sven, who because of the mechanics of his ult is just going to be able to literally 1- and 2-shot your whole team if you allow him to get too far ahead in levels, to get too far ahead in terms of farm and items. That's exactly what happens. So anyway, bans are out. Not going to have Bat Rider or Undying joining us, courtesy of Zero. And Pulse going to go ahead and take Darkseer and Bounty Hunter out. TA going to be the first pick.
Yeah, really, I guess standard pick. They don't want to give away the Bounty Hunter, and Undying, of course, also taken out again by Kuroki. So this guy really everybody right now is valuing Undying really high, and Bat Rider as well. Just that really quick buff from Bat Rider. Before that buff, you never saw Bat Rider, and now he's been first banned. I think every game.
Yeah, he's basically first pick, first ban every single game. And it's just because of his versatility and the way he fits into the way Dota feels and plays now. It wasn't just the buff to him directly. I mean, the turn rate or turn speed and all that, that's all well and good. But it was really how much stronger a team feels now if they get out and start attacking, looking for kills earlier on. At level 6, even without a Blink Dagger, Bad Rider is just such a liability. It's so you can't engage into a Bad Rider. You can't chase him because he's going to Firefly. He's going to leave fire behind him. You chase into that, you're overextending. You end up taking a lot of damage. His ability to isolate a hero and bring them back into his own team and force engagements when teams don't want to fight. He's just an all-around really good one-on-one laner, as well as a hero that can completely confound any kind of team-based strategy the other team has. And Undying kind of fits into that as well. Really good one-on-one. He can actually solo lane remarkably well, especially if you're able to predict the lanes as we saw. I'm pretty sure you and I casted a game where we saw an Undying manage to win a 1-on-3 solo lane. So let both of those heroes out, and the pick's going to be Juggernaut and Jakiro. Now, Jugger is kind of on the upswing. He really came back into popularity after his success, especially under the control of Na'Vi at the International. But we're beginning to see him more and more and more, and he just really gives you a lot of versatility, but he is very, very pigeonholed much past 20, 25 minutes. He's a very abilities-based hero. He is agility-based, so he can kind of sort of carry, but he's not a real carry. He's not going to be able to go deep into a game with a Sven or a CK or anyone like that. Now, Wisp did survive the ban phase and is going to be picked up by Pulse along with the Broodmother, so they're going to go ahead and save whatever hero they want to combine with that Wisp for later.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to see Mini on Wisp. That's going to be spectacular. We're going to see Feta on Juggernaut, which is also going to be phenomenal. And Kuroki is really valuing high that Jakiro. And of course, still, even if that Ice Path got fixed, it's still a really powerful hero ever since they twitched that or tweaked that mechanic a little bit.
Yep.
So that's going to be Alex's hero. Enchantress, probably going to be played by Kuroki, but Juggernaut, as you said, he relies a lot on that, on kind of, creating the right environment while he's in Blade Fury, so that after it ends, he can dish out a good amount of damage, and he's really strong in prolonged pushes due to his ward. So with the Enchantress and Jakiro, we're probably going to see Liquid Fire skilled up, we're probably going to see the ward skill up early, and we're probably going to see a tower or one lane push really hard from minute 2 or 3 on, I'd even say.
Yep.
We usually see Enchanters just coming out with 1 or 2 creeps, and then you'll push 1 or even 2 towers, depending on how the enemy team reacts. So they're probably going to try to force reactions out of Pulse. And in last game, man, Pudge missed a few hooks because of Region's Reality Rift with the CK. So Pulse kind of playing a little bit awkwardly at times when there was a lot of pressure on them. So with the TA, which is really, it really depends on momentum. I hope that Pulse are as cool and collected. They can just say, all right, that game we kind of sucked in a few ways, and now we just got to forget about that and just bring our A game once more, because we just beat Empire and now we're going up against Zero, so we can also beat those guys.
Yeah, and looking at what Zero's already put together, I'm sniffing an offensive tri-lane. It makes a lot of sense given what we see already. Broodmother's going to be in a long lane situation, obviously. Even if you rotate her to solo safe lane, it's not going to work. TA works best out of mid. That's kind of pigeonholed. And Wisp is just not, traditionally, is not that great in lane in a try-on-try situation. He can get some work done with the right positioning, and again, like you said, Mini is just amazing on the hero, so whatever can be done with that hero, we can expect to be done in whatever situation he's in. But he's still not that spectacular in an offensive versus defensive tri-lane situation. You're going to have one of the strongest offensive tri-laners in Enchantress. Jakiro extremely strong as well, just because he's so stable in terms of being able to engage at long range, as well as use Ice Path to buy time for him and his teammates to get out of the way. Same with Juggernaut. And the way that you usually want to shut down an offensive tri-lane is to engage into it, since they are going to be at the disadvantage. But engaging into an Ice Path, into a Dual Breath, into a Blade Fury, and into a Healing Ward, very, very difficult to do. So I think Zero would be remiss if they didn't get the most out of what they've picked up here. And Kuro occasionally will start out in a defensive position, then rotate over once he gets one good creep. He just wants to guarantee that he gets one good creep out of his own jungle before he moves up, so we might see that as well. Anyway, bands continue. Going to have a Crystal Maiden band, actually. I haven't seen good old CM band out in quite a while, but as a support that could possibly confound things for Zero, you can understand why they don't want her around. Veno, same way. You don't want to be trying to apply pressure if you do run the offensive tri-lane against the Venomance. It's just not going to work out. On the side of Pulse, they take out Quap, Sand King, and Tidehunter. So they are going to want to fight isolated battles. That's kind of what I take away from that. They don't want a lot of team fight potential on the other side.
Yes, I agree. Sorry, I was just reading your chat because they were saying that my gain is a little bit too high on the mic, so I do want to make sure that if I'm audible in-game, that people are able to hear me properly. So let me know how this is, guys, and I wholeheartedly agree with you right there. And I wonder, though, if Pulse is going to be able to kind of, stay composed, because I think the way the draft's looking so far, they are really going to apply a lot of pressure, and that's why I really like the ban-outs from Pulse. They ban out Sand King, a really strong aggressive hero with a low cooldown stun, with the ability to stun multiple heroes at once. Of course, a really strong ultimate for the team fights, and an escape spell in the Sandstorm, and of course Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain is a hero that you don't want to go up against in the middle lane during the laning phase, and also not when you're in these clumped up engagements when you have them bashing away at their tower and you are forced to react to that. A Queen of Pain is amazing with her nukes.
And they are going to go ahead and pick up the Sven. Was going to say Sven could potentially fit that role of the farming hero. You usually want to pair up with a Wisp. Of course, he's got Warcry to help him close distance, not to mention the power of Stormhammer. And we saw in Game 1 just how potent his big swipes and attacks get to be once God Strength is popped. Was actually going to say maybe an Ursa. I always hold out hope for Ursa because Ursa Wisp is just the most amazing combination ever. Not going to be the case here, but on top of the Warcry and on top of the stun, worth mentioning the TA and Broodmother are actually going to be able to help Sven close distance as well. The side trap from TA going to provide a much-needed slow on mass AoE groups of units as well. And Broodmother's Venomous Bite is going to slow people down as well. So Sven's got a lot of help, not to mention Wisp, of course, with Tether Overcharge and what have you. On the other side, looks like Venge is going to be picked up. This could possibly be a mid-Venge. I'm not going to put it past Kuro. Kuro usually runs on Enchantress when we see them picked up by Zero. But I have seen Kuro run carry Venge a couple of times. They also still have the option to defensively tri-lane if they really want to, but again, that's just kind of a waste of Enchantress. Enchantress best used in an offensive tri-lane situation. I still feel like that's what we're going to see, but we'll wait for their 5th pick before we make any real calls or assumptions. Still waiting on that 5th pick out of both sides.
Yeah, we're going to see something special, I think. One that's ironic that Poles now go for Sven. I mean, this, for one, is perhaps them saying, all right, man, we can do that as well. Perhaps it's something for their confidence too, because if they win this, then Zero will be like, oh crap, you know, they picked Sven and beat us with that hero as well. But also, I think you're right, man. You've been talking about Sven being viable in the competitive scene for a really long time, and with Wisp, it's just a really powerful hero. So 2 good reasons for them to pick it up. One is the psychological advantage, and the other is just it fits in really well. And Leshrac, we might see him actually skilling the Lightning Storm up early if they are going for the push. I mean, Zero is, then Leshrac with the nuke is going to be able to slow that down a bit. And look at the Venge. She doesn't fit into this if you look at it from a perspective of the laning phase. Yep. So yeah, it's going to be something special, I presume.
Yeah, I really am sniffing a mid-Venge here. Really am. Could be totally wrong. Could be utterly, totally wrong. They could honestly duo mid if they really, really wanted to. But I think that's what they're going to be going for. And, I mean, other than that, you look at the Venge and trying to figure out what she brings. She's got a very strong level 1 stun, which could fit into the offensive tri-lane as well. But then are you going to move Enchantress to the defensive position? That doesn't make a lot of sense. So how do you end up laning this? But it's going to be something different. For sure, one way or the other. I mean, the swap is good so far as it goes, but, I mean, you look at the lineup Pulse has, and it's hard to just be like, oh, okay, obviously swap was picked for this reason. So they're going to go with the Beastmaster. So the Beastmaster, one would think, is going to be their long lane. No, it might be mid. Could be mid on Venge or the Beastmaster. I'm still really sold on, yeah, and Kuro is going to play Enchantress. So, yeah, I mean, you see the Beastmaster, you assume long lane. If that is going to be a tri-lane, that's going to mean a mid-Venge who's going to be farming. And it's going to be double aura. So they're going to have the bonus attack speed as well as the bonus damage coming out from the Venge. And I'm really, really anxious to see how this is going to pan out. We'll run through our lineups while we wait for the lanes to take shape. On the side of Pulse, we've got many, no surprise, running on Wisp. And for those players at home who say, you know what, I want to learn Wisp, who's a good pro player to watch? You found it. You're watching the right game if that's your goal. Mini amazing on that hero. Broodmother going to be handled by the captain. That's going to be Wagamama. EGM. The stand-in making his way towards mid on TA. Sven going to be handled by Region. We've seen Region play Sven before. Quite good on the hero. And Fishbone going to be playing on our Leshrac on the other side of the river. Kuro, as mentioned, the captain and the drafter for Zero. Going to be running on the Enchantress. Beastmaster going to be played by Fatah. He's actually might be a solo safe lane. He's hanging out there right now. Pos making his way down towards bottom. And Jakiro heading there as well. He's handling Alex and Juggernaut, played by Leaf. So right now we've got 4 heading down that way. And yeah, I'm pretty sure this is going to be a mid-Venge eventually.
Oh, dude, I don't even know what that's going to be. This is looking really exciting, to be honest. I mean, we see Beastmaster running top, like, what the F, man? Usually we see him going for the long lane. By now he should have axed down those trees, but I'm really glad to see him out of that role a bit, because back in the day, Beastmaster solo mid was so good. But the game has been changing all the time. So I think Zero is just going to do something really crazily, overly aggressive. They're going to dive the crap out of that bottom dual / tri lane. But they might really draw, you know, this is risky what they're doing is what I'm trying to say. If this fails, then they lose.
Look at that ward. Immediately dropping down the ultra-aggressive ward and immediately counter-warded by Paul. Say, you know what? I don't believe you just stuck your nose through there just for funsies. You came down there with a purpose, and sure enough, counter ward goes out, no vision down there. And are they... Okay, here goes Kuro. Is Kuro gonna mid Enchantress? We'll wait and see. Let's see which way he bends here. He's still taking damage from Mini. He's got help on the way. Pulse has a few in position. Oh, Kuro's down to half health. He's got to be careful. And here we go. Alex going to find Fishbone. Alex is saving onto the, holding onto the ice path for the moment. Oh, what a tether from Mini. Makes it to the high ground just in time to dodge the ice path. And yeah, I'm still waiting to see. Are they may just leave mid unoccupied. They may just go, you know what? TA is going to win that lane. We feel better if we just devote all of our energy to taking as fast the tower at bottom as possible. And as of right now, there's no reason to believe that's not at least the short-term plan.
Yeah, I mean, I play with the guys some pubs sometimes, and this is usually what they do. They don't lane, they just go do something crazy. I think this might be the serious version of that fun thing that they do, but we'll see how successful it's going to be.
Kuro's got himself an Ursa. We'll see how committed they are to this. Pos has skilled his first point in the magic missile as expected. Got a lot of stuns that are going to hold people in place for that Blade Fury for Leaf. Kuro still hanging around the jungle side here. Yeah, but we're going to have a dive soon. Leaf's going to be caught with a split earth, though, taking some free damage. Mini Region and Fishbone holding the line admirably. Haven't even looked at the other lane yet, just because this has the potential to get out of hand very quickly as soon as one team decides to engage into the other. Pause, taking a lot of damage. Little auto attack trading. And real close. There we go. Spins the stun on Region. Ice Path going to be off the mark, so very awkwardly done there. That's not what they were looking for, I don't think. Take a look at top lane. Waga and Fata going back and forth. 9 last hits for Fata, so he's doing quite well. Waga Mama sitting on the Broodmother, sitting at about half that amount. But yeah, as one would imagine, a completely uncontested TA in mid going to be doing quite well, sitting at 13 last hits.
Now, this has been really bad for Zero so far. I mean, they weren't able to get any type of farm. They were looking for their chance, an awkward stun combination starting off right there. I mean, it doesn't help that they have a stand-in right there and a tri-lane or an offensive quad lane, I guess. Really depends on really good synchronization between the teams. So with that tri-lane up against them so far, Pulse is winning by simply just doing nothing. Look at the XP and look at the gold. So Zero is... are the guys that really need to make something happen really soon.
Yeah, I'm legitimately curious what the plan was here. If you're going to do something like this, you got to pour it on quick. And,
they're going.
Yep, they're diving. Let's see. I mean, and this is just being played well by Pulse. They're way out of position now. And they could even, yeah, I mean, I've seen this done by one other team, and it was Darer a long time ago. Hang on, hold that thought. Looks like they are going to go ahead and commit. Here we go. TP's coming in. There's the... stun. The Blade Fury is going to catch no one except EGM, and just as he lands, Alex is going to drop to the lightning, so give the first blood to Mini, actually. Pos now, completely isolated. Doesn't even have enough mana for a stun, so he's dead. No doubt about it. He has nowhere to go. Going to try and lose them in the woods, but that's the extent of that. And yeah, it's going to take a little longer than perhaps it should have, but using the magic stick. Let's see. There we go. Finally pick him off. I just don't know what the plan was here. The only other time I've seen this done, just a true out-and-out quad lane, was by Darer. And when they did it, they basically just ran down lane, forced them underneath, dove underneath the tower. It was all or nothing, got a kill or two, and then took the tier 1 tower at like 2-3 minutes in. And that this is just weird. Like, I'm just really confused by what Zero's overall game plan has been.
Well, it was also to dominate them underneath their own tower, but Pulse is just calm and collected. The problem with Zero's play right there, I think, was that it was just really predictable in the way that Pulse was just able to prepare so much for this, because they were waiting for the creep wave to die out slowly, pushing it in, and as soon as the creep wave comes running in, oh, now they're initiating onto Leaf on bottom. They're turning this around onto them.
Yep, Leaf is going to end up dropping. And here goes Alex. And yeah, this is a mess. That's really the only phrase one can use, because what do you do now? Oh, you're going to send Pos mid against TA that's been completely uninterrupted farming and solo XP in mid? No, you can't do that. Kuro has been a non-factor almost entirely. Kuro is level 3 right now. And yeah, this is just getting ugly. They're about to lose a tier 1 already when they went quad on try. And yeah, Leaf can't even come out here. He's level 4, so he's gotten some decent experience. And Enchantress is forced to deny tier 1 mid already. Pos is every bit of level 2, and they are going to catch EGM, though, managing to net him down. He's looking for safety. He's got a meld if he feels like he really needs it, instead just going to go ahead and bottle up between auto attacks. making his way over to the jungle. The Shrek gonna get the final hit on the tier 1 bottom. And yeah, EGM makes it to safety. I just don't know. I mean, 3,000 gold advantage coming up on 4 at 5.5 minutes. This is bad. Bad's the word.
Yes, it's really unfortunate for them. I mean, it was a really ballsy strat, and it could have worked. They were looking for their opening, but you got to give it to Pulse as well. Just really strong positioning, just really calm, collected play. Because usually when you're up against 4 heroes, you panic. You're like, oh man, these guys are really dominant right now on lane, and they're outnumbering us as well. We don't know what to do. But they were just staying really cool underneath their own tower, tanking the creeps all together, sticking together as 3. And as soon as the engage came, TA was ready. She's like, all right, dude, I've been free farming mid for 4 minutes, so I'll just TP bottom and wreak some havoc.
Yep.
So I guess it's kind of a wake-up call for Zero. So by now, or at the moment at least, it really strongly looks like we're going to go to game 3. But, well, the game's not over yet.
I just don't know what they can even do. What do you do? I mean, Leaf cannot just sit and farm. I mean, it's Juggernaut. Even if you sat and farmed perfectly for the next 20 minutes, you're just not that hero. I mean, Sven is going to outcarry you with God's Strength and Warcry. It's going to happen. You are not going to win if he farms even moderately well while you're playing catch-up. Pos can do nothing. In fact, Pos is probably dead. Caught with the side trap. There's an Ice Path. Going to lock 2 in place. Not a bad job. But now, yeah, Pos is still level 3. So he drops immediately. They can die freely because of the refraction on TA. Absolutely no real risk taken there. Just a free kill. And that's how it's going to be for a while. Anytime they see Pos, if Pos is on the map and they're able to get within attack distance, Pos is going to die. Leaf is level 4. Has Boots, Soul Ring recipe that he has not completed yet. And now Alex, going to be engaged upon. There's the Tether Stun. Ice Path buys a little bit of time, but with Meld and everything else, that's another kill. Make it 6-0. And Fata going to land right into a Split Earth. He's down to half health already. EGM going to go ahead and pull back as Leaf pursues Mini. And EGM going to run right past him. Here comes Regen. There's the roar on EGM. Blade Fury out as well, but here comes Regen. Regen blows the God Strength, banging away on Fata. Fata is going to drop. Kuroki joins the fight as well. Leaf, just look how quickly Leaf is dying here. They do, nope, they are going to actually go carry for carry there. EGM may be picked off on the backside. So finally, Zero at least getting themselves on the board. Mini going to try and find some safety. 8-2, the current score. Pulse way ahead. And then, in fact, this is one of those games where the kill score just doesn't tell you the story. Like, they are so far ahead right now. It is ridiculous. Waga now left alone at top. Coming up on 7,500 gold advantage. And, yeah, I genuinely don't know what Zero's going to do here.
Yeah, just for the people right now, I know there's a bunch of people that are currently, because this is for Curse, that are not familiar with Dota 2 that much. If you look at the heroes so far, the least farmed heroes are 3 from the Dire side.
Yep.
And one of them is the hero with the highest importance for the Dire side, that Juggernaut. He needs farm, he needs gold. Oh, look at top lane, by the way. I'm going to stop for now.
Yeah, I mean, it's what's Leaf going to do? Leaf just dies. And again, I'm really just blown away by this. Zero is such a good team. And usually, extremely good decision-making out of them as a squad. And, I mean, and you can't even say, well, they just screwed up and didn't play well. It was just a bad call. It was a bad call to try that. I mean, if you, obviously farming the Venge mid against TA is not optimal. Mini might get picked off here. Ice Path going to be dodged. Mini looking for safety. And here comes Regen. They're going to hook up. There's the war crying. Stormhammer. And Alex is going to drop. Godhammer was popped. Fata going to try and find some safety. We'll find it because there's no stun to follow that up. But yeah, I mean, Zero basically lost this game in 2.5 minutes. I don't even care to say it. There is pretty much no chance they come back unless... I can't pause. Let me watch. Here we go. Regen's here. Kuro's going to drop immediately. Pos can do nothing but stare on. Leaf is going to use the Blade Fury to buy a little bit of time. Down goes the Healing Ward. It is completely irrelevant. They might maybe get Mini. I doubt it, though. Mini's just too good on the hero. He manages to TP to safety. And Pos is down. 13-3. Alex is not going to survive
GG.
either. Yeah.
I think we're going to see a GG call.
Surely. I mean, this game is over. It's over. That is the only... It is over, period. And Fata is going to make it a full wipe. Maybe not. Yeah, he's actually going to bottle himself back to safety. We're at 10 minutes.
Eggum overextended.
Yeah, whatever. They do manage to pick him
Man,
up.
I guess, you know, it was a cool strat, and it could have worked out, but I guess you know, if the decision making that was kind of questionable was the following: you have two stand-ins playing for you,
Yep.
and you're going up against Pulse, which is a really, really how do I say just a routine that they have a big routine in scrimming. They've been around for a long time and they're
Yep.
so experienced. You are willingly putting yourself into a bad spot just by drafting and laning the way you do.
Yep, saw the kill there. I mean, it's getting to the point I can't get excited over the kills because they're so predictable. There's just, I mean, it doesn't matter at this point if Zero is able to even pull some good plays. I mean, look how quickly they're dying. And Fishbone is going to catch Kuro here in mid as well. Going to use the Edict. Here comes Wisp and Region. Stormhammer follow up. That's finally a dead Kuro. And they're going to try to get Pos. Oh, wow! That's worth getting excited over. Mini positions himself just in time to get the tether off and add another kill to the total. 18-5. Pulse just housing Zero at this point. 11.5 minutes in, we got 23 kills on the board, and the vast majority of them belonging to Pulse. And yeah, it's 11.5 minutes, and you're talking coming up on 12,000 gold differential. I think this is pretty much over.
Yes, I agree with you. And, well, middle lane.
Yeah, it's going to be a battle, but, I mean, Region is face-tanking the tower through all of this. Like, he is that tanky. Oh, finally. Kuro is here, and they're going to go ahead and give pursuit. But and now he's going to spin a Stormhammer, catches two, and there's the ulti from Jugger there. Might cause some problems. Lee finally going to get himself a kill. Region going to be picked off as well. EGM, Fishboner there. Here comes Pos on the low ground. Fata looking for safety. Going to use the dust to make sure Brood can't hide. Don't think she's going to want to hide, though. She's just going to want to kill Kuro. There's a melt that secures that kill. Here comes Mini. Tethers up. Pos looking for safety as well. He's going to drop. And yeah, after all that, it's a 4, make it 5, 4, 2. So even though that was probably the best engagement Zero could have had there. Pulse got way out of position, they got overextended, they got separated, and it just doesn't matter. Does not matter at all. And again, I'm not saying Zero, I'm really surprised Zero hasn't called GG. They took a big risk and it didn't pay off, and there's just no way to get back into the game now. None at all.
Yeah, just to clarify, what Zero was really going for is by putting 4 heroes on a lane to push towers really fast, get that gold and experience advantage, or just the gold advantage, not the experience advantage. And you got to keep in mind that since it failed, they split the experience from one lane onto 4 heroes, middle lane. Now they're going to get engaged upon, but as you said, this is not really nearly as exciting as perhaps talking about what they really wanted to go for. They were splitting experience from one lane onto 4 heroes, and they had one hero in middle lane just free farming like crazy, and since it failed and they lost a bunch of heroes, now they're way behind in experience, way behind on gold, and this is why Pulse is able to just dominate them like this.
Yeah, and Region and Mini come back pretty much going 2-on-5 here, 3-on-5 with Waga there. And here comes EGM. There's a meld. Fata uses the magic stick. Gonna drop. Good impetus spam from Kuro. Gets a kill on the backside, though. Kuro's still gonna die. Ice Path buys a little bit of time. Pos dead now. And for those who are watching or wondering, it's like, how can it be over? It looks like they're still having these close fights. There's a lot of buybacks taking place here. And the buybacks almost entirely on the side of Zero for the most part. So you cannot overestimate the effect that has on total gold. I mean, look at the GPM. 4 of the top 5 GPMs on the map are from one team, okay? I think that basically tells you everything you need to know. Net worth, same story. 4 out of 5 of the top GPM or net worths on the map belong to one team, and that's Pulse. And yeah, 14 minutes in, and Jugger's going to come out, use his level 1 ult to get 1 kill. Hey, he is going to be able to Blade Fury, so he might be able to make it 2 kills. Fishbone. No. Oh, God.
Oh!
EGM drops the hammer. Says, you know what? Meld damage OP, bro. Meld damage
Arati
OP.
top.
Anyway, let's see what's going on up here. I'm really surprised Zero's even dragging this out. This game has been over. It's 14 minutes in, and I would say the game's been over for 10 minutes. Fata is going to be picked off. Kuro on the high ground, using nature's attendance to heal himself up. Let's take a look at the kills. 14 and 3 on TA. TA alone, not her team. TA alone, averaging just under 1 kill a minute. In this game number 2 of this best of 3, and out of Zero on their last legs, backs against the wall. Not sure what they're going to be able to do here.
Yeah, middle racks now being pressured while we have Wog on top waiting it out to get into some high ground for himself as well. And yeah, I guess Zero just really doesn't care. They're just defending a bit and I don't know, maybe they're just having fun, who knows. They've been buying back like crazy. But of course for game 3, the psychological advantage clearly going to be in Pulse's favor, and Kuroki's going to need to draft something a little bit more conventional, I guess, because I mean the strategy was fine. I mean, as you said, we see Dara headed by Artstyle back in the day, arguably one of the most aggressive teams out there. They pulled off this strategy, but for that, guys, you really need to be able to have teammates that you've been playing with for a long time, especially if you're up against Pulse. And I mean, kudos to Zero for trying it. It just didn't work out, so now we're going to go to game 3.
Nice path out, trying to buy some time. Zero, gonna hold the line to the last possible moment. I'd say once one set of racks is down there, they're gonna call it. By the way, all towers still standing for Pulse, not a single tower down for them, while all outer tier towers are down. Down goes the Macro Pie. They actually are managing to do some decent damage here. Wisp is gonna be landing back in momentarily. And yeah, they managed to defend. I mean, they've still got up their melee racks. Zero holding the line, but here's Regen. He's got God Strength popped. He's caught out immediately, though. Oh, just look at the damage he's doing. Every swipe. Just melting this team down. Gonna go ahead and pick off the healing ward. And Leaf, no. Gonna be able to Blade Fury his way back towards the well. Waga. Yep. Oh, there's a good swap, actually. Poss and Minnie up, and that's a dead Poss, and that's a half of her health gone. Vengeful Spirit melded to death. 4 down. Jakira's about to be back up. Brood gets a Skull Basher because, hey, why not? That's what Broods do nowadays, apparently. And down goes tier 1, or, excuse me, mid racks. Soon to be 2 sets of racks. And I'd say at this point, all Zero's doing is just talking it over. Talking about what went wrong, what they should have done, what they need to do in game 3, but not to take anything away from Pulse. I mean, we've been harping on the decision they made. But Pulse played it very well. Alex dies immediately, can't even call out all the damage. Leaf is dying as well. And here's the God Strength once again. Regen is going to be stunned, though, with the Magic Missile. Kuro. One more swipe. One more swipe. Nope. Never mind. Nature's Attendance makes it 2 more swipes. In the meantime, EGM continues to add to his total. And Kuro looking for safety wherever he can find it.
Trolling.
Pretty much. Up, 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 up. There we go. And out come the GGs. So, in a 18-minute game that ended 14 minutes ago, Pulse manages to knot the series back up 1-1. Zero rolled the dice and came up boxcars. Unable to do much of anything else.
Yep. Good play by Pulse, of course. I mean, this really cool reaction and collective play versus a quad lane. And that's all there is to say to it. And I mean, it's not like, I mean, Zero, they had the balls to go for that strategy. All the players are really skilled, but that is what happens. It's unfortunately just that kind of strat. If it fails early on, then you probably lost game 80% of the time. So that's how it went.
Indeed, as we wait on things to finish themselves out, looks like they're going to continue to play for kills and have a little fun. While this is going on, though, I want to remind everyone where you are. If you just stumbled in off the street, you have stumbled in to Curse's inaugural edition of their $100 weekly King of the Hill matchup. This is Pulse taking on Zero. Zero playing under the name Absolute or Absolute or whatever. No idea. Either way, 2 very talented teams. Game number 1 went to Zero. Pulse, though, getting a very quick win here in game number 2, so we're going the distance to game number 3. And, yeah, I guess they're going to... we are seeing people finally disconnect, so that's what needs to be done so we can move on to our next game. But anyway, thanks for being here with us, guys, and we hope that if you're not already a follower here on Curse, excuse me, that you will follow and come back each and every week. I'll be here for the foreseeable future at the very least. Sometimes with Epi, maybe sometimes with Draskell. Either way, hope I have each and every one of you with us for that. If you're new to Dota 2, really hope you enjoy the game. A lot of beta keys went out, so maybe you can snag yourself one of those if you think what you're seeing looks fun. It'd be an absolute blast. And just make sure you support esports and Curse as a whole. Finally, Epi, looks like this game's over.
Yes, I think so. And just let me also say and just agree with what you just said. If you are not new, if you're not familiar with Dota 2 that much and you're watching, then of course, thanks a lot for watching. And if you want to have a beta key, drop me an email. It's epi@epicommentary.com, epi@epicommentary.com. I will send you one. Because if you took the time to watch a game that you're not familiar with, then you rock, and I want to support you. So there you go. Anybody that sends me an email, I'll just drop you a beta key. And yeah, I'm looking forward to Game 3, man. Let's hope that both teams are going to go all in now.
$100 on the line. Each team one win away from locking up that prize. Zero and Pulse going to duke it out for the cash. Coming up next.